So yeah, shalom. This is James Speed. So I just want to let my subscribers out there in YouTube to know that yeah, I'm gonna be doing the same kind of content, but it's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be much more two-way. And for those who are not familiar with two-way, that means the Second Amendment, Constitution, the right to keep and bear arms should not be infringed. Right, the right of the people to keep and bear arms should not be infringed. Right. So if you consider yourself a part of the people, right, of the U.S. and not, that whole thing about America versus U.S. and all that, the corporation versus the nation. That's a whole nother thing right there, right? But anyway, I just want to make this a PSA, and yeah, this PSA doesn't mean Palmetto State Armory. It does PSA for those who are into guns. You know what you caught that. But what I want to say, I want that a lot of my LGBT, and this is response. I wasn't able to really make a full response or a video just talking about what happened in Club Q. And ones could say, hey, it was inside job, it was whatever, whatever. But one thing is for certain, that whether these shootings, mass shootings, are orchestrated or not, they usually always happen in safe places or soft targets, places where people can't or not permitted to arm themselves with firearms, either because it's private property, so the employers can tell the employees they can't have any weapons or guns, or there's places that statewide the state has deemed a gun safe zone. But that doesn't deter people who want to enact violence with guns. They will find any way, 3D print a gun, they can steal it, they can get it legally or whatever. So there's no way to really stop violence without stopping the threat with violence. When you hear the term gun violence, the gun violent rates of gun violence, anytime that you use a gun in self-defense, that is considered gun violence, right? Because it's a violent act to defend yourself with a firearm or a deadly weapon to defend your family. That is violence that you're using in a good way to protect yourself, right? So using violence not for the sake of violence, but you're using violence to protect. So when certain ones from the left or right, whatever, they use these terms about gun violence or assault weapons, whatever, do your research, do your study, or even ghost guns, what that's about. But what I want to say was that somebody mentioned it was a brother instructor, Mike, very phenomenal instructor from out of Chicago. To where he mentioned, where was the security? Club Q, I'm referring to, where the guy was able to go inside and with the weapons and kill, I believe it was 5 people, and I think injured 15, if I have it right. And rest in peace to those who were killed in that act, who was killed that night in the senseless act. Where was the security? Because, okay, in Colorado, if you don't want guns, or certain states where everything's happening, if you don't want guns, at least you can hire security that can pat people down who might have a gun, so you can stop it from the door. You can stop it from he gets in, because people who do acts like that, what they want to do, they want to get in the door so they can trap people from getting out. And then some places might be one way in, one way out, or it might be only one way out, another way out in the back, but so many people can, they might kill each other trying to get out. So it's like a win-win for them. So you have to harden these places that you used to think were safe or whatever. You have to do more hardened places, and you have to hire security, metal detectors, things like that. So I never went to any club when I was younger and there wasn't security. Even teen clubs, right? Just teenagers. You're getting, especially as a guy, you know what I'm talking about. You're getting patted down, right? you're getting patted down. So the churches, the target churches, especially black churches, they don't attack the NOI, right? Because you're going to get patted down. You don't really see a lot of these mass shootings happen where people have hired, paid, trained security to deal and to pat people down. all right, who are certified, licensed, all that, to do security, to check people at the door. So people want to say, well, we want to just keep everybody safe, so we're just going to pray it away. We're going to, and I'm big on prayer. Prayer changes everything, but you also pray that God gives you the tools necessary to deal with such threats if you're faced with them, right? So you have to actually, be knowing what you're praying about, all right, and know how to pray and what to pray for and what not to pray for. Okay. So yeah, I just want to put it out there, man. There has to be more security. There has to be more LGBT people arming themselves. The Second Amendment is for you. All right. The police is not going to be there. Who's going to be there? You. All right. So there was someone who was inside the club. I believe they say it was a trans person or trans woman who basically stopped the attacker that night. But the police wasn't there. When seconds matter, police are minutes away. So the people, that's why the Second Amendment said the right of the people to keep and bear arms, because you are the first responders. By the time the police get there, people are already dead. Someone is dead. Someone is beat up to the point of death, almost about to die. They have already carried out that act or had minutes or seconds to do that. So you're not going to take away mass shootings by some law, because criminals do not respect law. We don't want to be in the UK or Canada where you ban handguns, and a month or so after that you have a mass knife attack where 15 or 20 people are injured. I think a couple of people are killed in a mass stabbing. So these inanimate objects are not the problem. It's the people who are the problem. Okay? I think 30,000 people die every year from car accidents. I believe it's even higher, if I have it right. But you don't see people, even though you get people who get their license and all that, but not everybody with a license do the right thing. You have people who have a license and they drink and drive. They kill, run people over. You can have a driver license and not obey all the laws of the road. So that doesn't really mean anything. So you want to have all these restrictions at the point say, oh yeah, get rid of guns, but you're going to have guns regardless. You're going to have weapons. People are going to find ways to enact violence, all right, senseless violence on people. There's going to be a criminal element in any society. So as long as we're in this third dimensional paradigm, there will always be a criminal element who wish to seek and enact violence on others that they view as food, as prey. All right, it's easy targets, or they not up on it. They not with it, or whatever the case may be. So you have to. It's your duty. It's not the police. It's even, I believe, in the Constitution or even the Supreme Court ruled or whatever that. Yeah, it's not the duty of the police to be your private security. They're not obligated to do that. It's in law. They're not obligated to do that. They're there to protect property, but they're not your personal bodyguards. It's your duty to protect your family. Whether that's your gay family, straight family, your house, whatever, gay house, whatever, trans, it's your duty. So I want people to stop looking at guns as the bad thing and actually look at the individual behind the gun. Because behind every mass shooting, there's a mass shooter. And usually there was somebody, or sometimes there was somebody with a gun to stop the mass shooting. But the most efficient tool that you would call a weapon was with a gun. And if these mass shooters knew that, hey, more people are armed, they wouldn't go and do these acts where they say, I can kill 15 people and nothing happens to them. It would deter that. So, I just want to kind of put that out there, man. I want more people, especially, LGBT and primarily trans, But if you feel like guns are not for you, that's okay. But don't deny other people of their right to keep and bear arms because you feel like that you might go and do something crazy with a firearm that you might regret. Not everyone is with a firearm is out to enact senseless acts of violence against someone or wants to carry that out. You have people who just want to protect themselves. And a lot of people don't know how many gun laws there are until they actually try to go and buy a gun. I would tell anybody, if you are strongly opinionated against guns, go to try to purchase one. If you never tried to purchase a gun before, don't come here. Oh, I feel like, don't come on my video saying, I feel like we shouldn't have this. We should have this ban. We should have that ban. Go and try to buy one and see, what guns are already not allowed. What's the difference between semi-automatic, and fully automatic, right? Double action, single action. Just find out exactly what they are. Go take a firearm safety class. Ones of y'all have never even tried to do that. And then in America, one thing I don't like about America, I know I'm kind of going to the rant, but one thing before I close out, more of my people get armed. Black people, LGBT people get armed. All right, if you can, depending on what state you're in, know the laws, get armed, get trained, etc., etc. Work on yourself, your mental state, all that, right? Health and everything. It's funny. One thing